Hello all YouTubers, I'm the Weather Dude. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for tuning back into today's presentation for April 28th, 2020. As always, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share my videos as well, and check out my website linked in the description. So today's our 2020 preliminary summer forecast. I know summer, it seems like it's so close yet so far. Time's kind of moving slow. At least in my opinion, it's been moving kind of slow. So yes, summer is coming up, and here is I will be showing the Climate Prediction Center, and as well and some models and my 2020 summer forecast, preliminary forecast as well. All right, so we're talking about June through August here. Okay, so lead number 2 from the Climate Prediction Center, and with the exception of the upper Midwest, so it's kind of like we're gonna have your potential some cool shots coming down. Other than that, okay, from coast to coast, it's pretty much going to be, I mean, they usually do this a lot, some warmer temperatures, but especially you have to focus in those darker red regions here, all right? So we talk about southern Florida, much of the southern part of the Rio Grande up to the southwest, as well as parts of the northeast. These are where your deeper shades of red are, and that's where you have higher chances, higher confidence that we're going to have some above average temperatures. Precipitation, all right, much of the eastern and as well as the central part of the country, all right, going to be in the not above normal precipitation, but especially from Chicago, St. Louis down through the mid-Atlantic, all right, even parts of the coastal northeast have the best chance of above average precipitation. Okay, northwest United States, right there in the northern part of the Rockies here, this is where you have your best chance of drier times, but even some drier times to Oregon, Northern California, Missouri, North Dakota. I'm sorry, not Missouri, Montana, North Dakota. So definitely something we're going to be watching here. All right, so let's get to my forecasts. All right, so first thing we're going to be taking a look at is the precipitation forecast for the summer. Again, so pretty much encapsulates all the summer here, June, July, August. Just note that we could have, this won't be what happens all the time. This will be, in the end, what we'll be expecting as a majority. Okay, so for your average, your summer conditions. All right, so here is my precipitation forecast. All right, so okay, starting with this light green region here that encapsulates again much of the Mid-Atlantic, South Central, and the Southeast, and specifically the Southeast could potentially have a wetter summer here. And even parts of the Mississippi Valley, the Tennessee Valley. Okay, again, this is what the summer will be majorly about. Every day could have something different potentially. Potentially extreme northern New England, all right? Like I said, it's my first summer forecast. Okay, extreme northern New England, I'm still quite uncertain about this, but if it is slightly below average precipitation, it's going to be like barely noticeable through Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. But what I am more confident about is the drier conditions up to the north and west here. So we're talking about slightly below average precipitation for potentially North Dakota, South Dakota potentially, especially the western parts of the state, Wyoming, northern Utah, north central Nevada, as well as northern California. Okay, well, you're thinking, why is the Southwest not in those drier times? Okay, the Southwest is already very dry. Like, they receive very little precipitation. All right, so sure, they will be below average precipitation, but they're already very dry. And Seattle, all right, potentially Portland, Oregon, Boise, Idaho, some places that could be in that next shade of brown, which means even farther below average precipitation is possible. All right, so here is my temperature graphic now. All right, so again, first forecast here, and looks like the north central, upper Midwest, could be some areas from Montana down through Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, back up through the UP and Michigan into Duluth. Some areas that we could have some slightly below average temperatures, and again, some above average precipitation or temperatures, for the west coast here, and as well as the east coast, even down through parts of the south central here. Some areas that we could see some moderately above average temperatures, but some of the modeling, okay, as well as looking at other sources, and I kind of found, okay, by the modeling that we could have some cooler shots potentially, All right, and when I mean by cool shots in the summertime, I mean like pleasant conditions. That's what you want to see, all right? Because that's how it feels in the summertime. It feels really nice when you have cooler temperatures. It feels very pleasant, especially combined with some sunny skies. All right, so this is my overall forecast now. All right, so we're gonna go from top to bottom of this here. So going from west to east, starting with dry times. All right, West Coast, Northwest here, California, Northern California, North Central Nevada, all the way up to Washington and Idaho, even extreme western Montana here. Some dry times are going to be possible. Okay, waves of warm air going to be present through much of the southwest of Four Corners. All right, potentially also you could, if you notice, that same color for the interior parts of the interior northeast. All right, temperature and precipitation swings. All right, so some of the Rockies regions, this happens really often. It also happens really often in the springtime. Okay, so it's kind of some flip-flop, some temperature precipitation swings. It's going to be bouncing back and forth pretty fast. Next, hot spells, even some heat waves here for Texas, Louisiana, through New Mexico into southern Colorado. Yes, you're already starting to see it now. It's already starting to get pretty warm. All right, cool shots possible. Again, some of that pleasant air. We're not talking about bone-chilling, bone freezing, any kind of, nonsense like that we had back in the winter time, but it will be very pleasant. All right, potentially we'll have some cool shots that are going to be possible across the north central. All right, and where where the hot air and the cold air kind of meet, as well as the wet region that you see shaded in green, okay, this is going to be your severe weather region. All right, parts of the Mississippi and Tennessee Valley, as well as the Central Plains here, St. Louis, Kansas City, Oklahoma City, potentially just north of Dallas here. Okay, even through, again, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Peoria, Illinois, okay, Indianapolis, too. All right, so that's where we can see the heart of the severe weather, potentially. All right, next, watching the tropics. Yes, okay, this summer, we always have to watch the tropics from the northern Gulf Coast here, so from Texas coastline, all the way up here into near the Appalachian Bay, west coast of Florida, and then going through the east coast of Florida, up the east coast to about Long Island, New York. This will be the region we'll be watching the tropics. Again, could this area shift? Could the tropics area go into New England? Potentially. Okay, could that pink color go a little bit farther north? But this will be the area we'll primarily be watching the tropics. All right, next, rainy and stormy times. Yes, so some wet weather here potentially through the southeast, up through parts of the mid-Atlantic, maybe the interior northeast, more like the Ohio Valley. And this color just goes for this region here is just pretty much northern Indiana as well as Michigan, even parts of the UP Michigan, cool and wet. All right, we're going to have some cool shots coming from the north, and we even have some wetter times here. So going to have some cool and wet conditions for pretty much the whole lower part of Michigan as well as northern Indiana. And finally, warm and dry. All right, now again, a little bit uncertain about the dry part, but the dry conditions are possible for extreme northern New England, but it definitely will be potentially on the warmer side. All right, so let's head to some modeling now. All right, so CFS model, like I said, they are just warm biased. All right, they're always like this. Like if you go through the whole model loop, there's not one blue region on here. All right, not one. It gets worse. Like the orange colors just grow as you head over time. Okay, but even though the CFS does have a warm bias, we can look at the areas that they emphasize the warmer regions. All right, so for example, like I said, northern New England, they emphasize some of that darker color. Texas and New Mexico, they also emphasize some darker colors there as well. All right, so, and anywhere in those white regions, that's where you're going to have your best chance of cooler conditions. But the model I more agree with, and I think is more reasonable, is definitely the CAN-SIPS model. All right, again, this is the time period of June, July, August. Okay, I think the cooler air is going a little bit too far to the south. All right, a little bit too far to the south, but like I said, during any point in time, because the cooler air can certainly get down to the south, but like I said, here's your warm air on the west coast, here's your warm air on the east coast. All right, so could this be act like a funnel, potentially? All right, but I definitely do agree with the cooler than average temperature for the northern part of that blue region. So the northern plains, upper Midwest there. But that is my summer 2020 forecast. Thank you for watching. Share this with your friends. I am the Weather Dude, signing off. Till next time. Thank you for watching.